okay, I'm inside a local retail unit. I've got to be quiet because the owner's upstairs and I don't really want to disrespect everything. I'm going to walk around and show you the building itself and also some of the things I look for in old buildings like this. This is like probably 100 years old. So just need to be careful what we buy in and the potential pitfalls, because next door has just had a new development, which I'll show you. And I don't think the owners had any party wall agreements done. And I think it's actually impacted the building. So we might have to take that issue up legally if we do go ahead and buy it. Okay, so there's the entrance. We've come in through the back, but there's the frontage. This has been empty for years. The person died who owned it, and his wife is the one showing us around. I'll probably go quiet soon. We will talk about more of this in a bit, but if you can see that there, this is a new development next door. And obviously it's connected, and it's come all the way back, which the plans weren't actually meant to. We were meant to leave more natural light down here because we've got a window. This building that we're looking at buying is meant to have a window there, and they've gone past that. My office down there. Okay.
Yeah, go upstairs.
Okay, this is the first floor. This is my hometown, so I know it quite well. That's the best chippy about, tasty place. So this is the first floor. We'd probably look at putting 2 apartments in here and leave the ground as retail, get it through permitted development rather than going through the whole planning process. It's going to need a full rewire. It's going to need everything, to be honest. It's a bit dark up here. It's going to be difficult up here to see because there's no light. This is the second floor. Same footprint, very simple. These are the condition of the type of properties we buy. So there's a couple of things we'd do with this. As I've said, we'd get apartments, 2 apartments, and a retail unit downstairs. We can do that through permitted development. I don't think that would be too much of an issue. Or we could do a HMO with it and convert it into probably 5 or 6 ensuite rooms. But we'd have to go through planning for that. There's also actually a few cracks, but it's difficult to see. Yeah, we'll show you downstairs. If you see that crack there, it's very straight. And upstairs I can't really show you, but there are cracks all upstairs, which may have been due to the work that's been done next door, because you can see a crack from the roadside on the outside of the brickwork, and it goes all the way straight down basically through all the bricks, which is usually a problem. Okay, so just spoke about the crack. You might be able to see if I open that up there by the chimney breast. Josh, what do you think about that crack?
I mean, it's debatable, but obviously we've just had the conversation about next door, and obviously this one going up. Because of it going all the way through the brick, it obviously looks like it could have been some sort of structural issue. Yeah. Obviously, that top part of the building is actually a different construction, really, compared to the old stone underneath. So it might not actually be as bad as we think. It's definitely going to need looking at as some sort, just to get a little bit of advice on. Really, just because it's gone straight through the middle of some of those bricks as well as following the mortar line.
Talk about this building next door, yeah. So this had planning, didn't it?
This one had planning for four apartments and a commercial unit downstairs.
Yeah.
We're going to have to go back and just have a quick look at the plans again, because it looks like they might have overstepped the boundary slightly. Bear in mind this was obviously a couple of years ago, so we need to just have a little look. This property on the left that we've just viewed now, this one's been sort of back and forth with the vendor for a couple of years. This is we offered on it a little while ago, and then obviously now it's come back into the picture. So
it's going to front. That there, the new building, they've done it looks like they've done a reasonable job.
It does look quite nice from the front. Yeah, you've
compared
got
to what it was.
The couple of windows either side for each apartment, so you've got 4 apartments in there, which is going to have a rear access.
Yeah.
And then you've obviously got the double shutters there as well, which I believe is just going to be a normal commercial.
Yeah. And so that's the one we've been looking at there. It's quite a, historic building around here. That is. Everyone knows about it.
Yeah.
So I reckon retail-wise, you'll be looking 10 to 12,000 a year, and if you put 2 apartments, obviously you've got the rent roll that'll be coming in off that, or HMO upstairs.
Yeah. Studio sort of vibe upstairs potentially.
Yeah. What are you saying about that then?
Yeah, I think she'd accept 100 now. I think, as well as like you said, it's paying the legal.
I think she'd get more than 100 at auction. I do.
So do I, but that's why I want to get. I think auction's a different kettle of fish. Remember though, because you've got people coming in there, and like we know before, like people come and see an absolute wreck inside.
Yeah, they look.
And all of a sudden they look at the dream. And don't get me wrong, you've got people who go in there and might do it for less than 150, especially if you've got builders who do it themselves and stuff like that, the works. Downstairs isn't going to take a lot. There's a bit of restructuring outside, but downstairs is a commercial. You're going to leave as a blank space, aren't you? You're not going to do as much as you are over the other 2 floors.
No.
So you might push more than 100 at auction, like you say. It might go to the 120s, 130s.
So what are you going to do there then? The seller?
I think we go back to her and offer her 100. I mean, like you said, it's a starting point. I've just explained to her about hunters, which I think she obviously wants as much as she can get for it at the end of the day, as most people do when they're selling the buildings. But as she's just said as well, she's got someone else involved. But having that relationship that I've had for the few years that I've been talking to her, she does want to sell it to me realistically if we can get to the right price. That's the main thing, really, to get something to agree on. I mean, if we thought we could push to 110, that had probably tied her over, because I had agreed 100 with her a couple of years ago, as I say, and then she's gone through these other issues back and forth with her mum passing away and whatever else. So that building that we've just viewed is probably bigger than that one, over a footprint.
What do you want to do with it?
I'd do exactly what we've just said. I'd split it up, so you've got 3 assets essentially. You'd split up all 3 floors, restructure the stairwell, have a straight commercial downstairs, and then do either 2 flats or 4 studios, or like you said, like a HMO. But again, like you said, it might be worth just doing the 2 apartments and just making them a bit nicer, just keeping them a bit bigger, 2 nicer apartments. You're still going to get similar values as if you cut it in half anyway for the 2 studios, realistically. And you'll probably get more interest. Bear in mind as well, if we wanted to sell one of those off, if we split the building into 3, we could sell one of the apartments off and claw some cash back, sell it as a leasehold.
Yeah, you could sell them off, yeah. You probably wouldn't get as...
wouldn't get as much.
In terms of the return you'd be getting, you're probably better off renting them.
No, I know, but I'm just saying if you wanted to claw some cash back afterwards, it's an option. But 100%, I think if you were going to go into it, we'd just refinance it out and then rent it out. Do
you reckon each floor is at least, say, 450 square feet?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. So we can get them mortgageable, independently mortgageable.
Yeah. I don't think you'd have an issue with that.
No.
And then we'll just split it and just put a ground rent on it for whatever.
Yeah. Okay, put it over to them, see. Got the money, do it. Is there a structure if he accepts it? What do you want to do, like, in terms of what we're doing?
Well, I was going to suggest whether we just go 50-50, Vidya group and then my side.
So if we bring the money, what do you bring?
Well, no, I was going to say 50-50 cash.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
And then we can get Frenchie jumping on the planning and everything else.
All that mess, yeah.
I've obviously got other bits and pieces to look at.
Do you want to refurb it, or do you want us to like bring Marek in and that?
I was going to say bring Marek in first. First, let's get him to look at it price it up. Obviously, I've got guys we can use as well, but I know they're likely going to be a bit more expensive.
They'll turn it round quick as well.
This is what I mean. It's a small enough building for them guys to just say, you know what, bang it in.
Okay. Cash, yeah.
I would say so.
You can get bridging and development loan if you needed to.
I think you guys have got cash. I can pull up that sort of cash for this sort of development anyway, so why not? We're not going to have any mortgage payments then. We'll get the development finance a lot quicker. Be less messing around with having to get mortgage on it and then leverage it as well.
Okay. Sounds good, man.
I think so. I think it's a good deal.
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, I wouldn't have mentioned 100. Before, I thought 100 was a good deal based on what you'd said before.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we probably should have gone in lower, but you learn. What if we got it and flipped it without doing anything? Would you consider that or no?
That was the other thing I was going to say. We could buy it cash and bank it straight into auction with planning. We don't have to do it.
You get PD on that. Yeah. Permitted development rights on that.
Yeah. I've got the guy who can do the drawings straight away if we need to. Obviously, you've got some guys who do the drawings anyway. So either or.
Try and squeeze 130, 140 with planning. Just make a quick book.
Well, exactly.
Could do that as well.
The only thing is obviously you want to own buildings essentially, so it's one of them where they're like, but do we want to? The thing is with me, it's as we know, there's time, headache, and money. So to do that, like you said, we've got to get the finance in order to do it, which wouldn't be an issue anyway. It's not a major build. It's a couple of flats and a conversion downstairs. It's nothing out of the ordinary. Initially, I was going to think about putting planning for an extra story, but I don't think it'd get accepted because of the level of all the other buildings. So it's probably not worth messing around even doing that. But like you say, do we want to spend 12 to 18 months developing it out and, like you say, getting the funding against it and whatever else? It's a perfect auction property. It is a perfect auction property.
It is.
We'll guide it a little bit lower. You get people through the door. That would be someone's dream, developing something like that out, because it's not. It's not nothing anywhere near what next door was. In respect to what they had no roof on theirs. It was an absolute mess.
Next door?
Yeah, next door. Remember when that was
open for years? It was like a record for years.
It was open. Well, another conversation I had with her upstairs is next door had a very deep basement, and the people that they bought this building off originally, they said that this building's got a basement, but they don't know where it is.
They don't know where it is?
No.
How long was they there for?
Exactly, but they reckon that they bought it as it was, but they reckon it's got a basement because next door's got one. It wouldn't surprise me if it did, but you've got to start ripping carpets and floors up in order to be able to find out.
Yeah, well, that carpet in there, that's been down for decades, mate.
That's what I mean. They probably bought that building with that carpet.
Yeah.
They probably haven't changed the carpet since they bought it. Bear in mind, it was just an office before. That building hasn't been touched for probably 30 years. You see the state of the kitchen and that upstairs, and then the back rooms. I reckon they moved straight in there and then just put their own products in there.
Yeah.
They used to make their own. They used to make their own upstairs, and then the downstairs was just like a showroom.
Okay. Well, get the deal first. Push 100 grand, pay our legal fees, no stamp duty on it because it's 150 grand. Get that wrapped up. And then flog it on. Or develop one or the other. You could even try and sell it, put it through one auction run. If it don't sell, we'll do it.
Yeah.
And let the market tell us.
Yeah.
Whether we do it or not.
Yeah.